Sure. Welcome to today's video. We want to discuss about what UNICAF offers. For those people who don't know about UNICAF, UNICAF is a university which offers scholarships for people who want to do either undergraduate, postgraduate, and other levels of education. So welcome, Joshua. You can tell us what is UNICAF, and basically start from where it started up until today. Basically, in a nutshell, we want to know what it is.
Thank you very much, Jackson. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Okay.
Actually, I'm delighted that we created time for this particular event, which has been a success so far. We, UNICAF University, or UNICAF as an organization, is basically based in Cyprus, which is in the UK, actually in Europe, where this particular organization is anchored. Our CEO, Nicosia, had traveled here in Africa some years back, trying to do some survey and address the issues to do with education. And they realized that most of the African people require basic and actually access to education, particularly higher level education.
Okay.
In line with SDG number 4, to ensure there is accessibility to education, affordability to education, and of course, bring up a new method of instruction where people can actually be able to do their masters, their degrees, and their doctoral programs online. So UNICAF is there to give us opportunity for lifelong in terms of education, that we can access education at affordable rates, and we can actually be able to do these high education programs at our pace, and of course staggered in terms of payment, which allows you to make installments.
So people are able to make a payment in terms of installments. So that is why you are saying it is a staggered way of making the payments and doing the studies.
Correct, because we allow students or those who wish to study with us to be able to make payments as per their capability. In other words, they can make monthly installments as low as 10,000 per month, or as far as they can be able to make the payments. But over and above, we give them scholarship opportunities. For example, the MOU that we have signed with you allows all your stakeholders to be able to access our scholarships up to 80%.
80%.
Yeah, so they are only required to be able to raise 20%, which, as we have put it, they will be paying them in terms of installments.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the mode of instruction for UNICAF for most courses? Is it a physical, or is purely online, or is online what we call ODEL?
Correct. So we at UNICAF, we have partnered with universities in abroad, specifically in the UK and one in the US. But we have UNICAF University. Currently we have 2 physical universities in Malawi and Zambia. In these 2 particular countries, we give blended learning. Blended learning means that there are certain times students go physically in class, but most of the time they do it online. For the universities in the UK, we are offering those programs online, where students can be able to enroll, register, and they can access the programs that they would have accessed physically online, the same programs, at an affordable rate. Yes.
So for how long has UNICAF been around?
Well, UNICAF has been, specifically in Kenya, it's been there for over 11 years. Now we are going to 12 years now. Been able to give or to assist over 10,000 students in Kenya alone. In Africa, UNICAF exists in over 13 countries. As I mentioned, Malawi and Zambia, luckily they have a physical campus. And of course, in the pipeline, as we move forward, we see whether they can have a physical university also in Kenya.
Yes. Okay, so Kenya is among the 13 countries you are speaking about.
Correctly. We've been in Kenya actually for over 11 years. We haven't been able to have a physical campus, but we have our physical offices in Nairobi that has been there for the last 12 years now. And we assist our students daily basis. And as I've said, in Kenya, right now we have over 10,000 students, and over 6,000 students have already graduated with us, and they're working in the work field.
Okay. Yes. So which courses are being taken up mostly by Kenyan students? Because I understand you've been around for over 11 years.
Yes.
Which courses do you think most students in Kenya take up? I know there's nursing top up. I also know there are PhD, master's level studies. Which ones do you think?
Correctly. So we have variety of programs. As I've said, in the UNICAF University alone, we have bachelor's programs, majority of them. We have master's programs, and then we have doctoral programs, or call them the PhD programs. Then, of course, you have master's programs. Normally, you find the most of the students taking from the University of East London, University of Suffolk, and University of Liverpool, John Moores. And then, of course, you have short professional courses. But over and above all, to answer your question, we have a variety of questions that cut across the healthcare sector, particularly nursing. We have a master's in nursing, Master of Science in nursing, and we have a top-up for those nurses who have already, they are already registered nurses, practicing nurses in Kenya. They have opportunity to have a one-year program for a top-up, a bachelor's of nursing, which will be able to enable them be able to access, job market across the globe. And of course, because that specific bachelor's or top-up bachelor's in nursing is basically one of the most competitive courses across. Of course, we have other courses in the IT sector. For example, we have the data science. We have courses in law, the law bachelor's of laws, masters of laws. We have also courses in healthcare management. We have courses in public health. We have courses in, cyber crime, cyber security. We have courses in international relations and diplomacy. We have courses in, as far as marketing is concerned, masters in public administration, PhDs in law, a PhD in healthcare management, a PhD in public health, PhD in business administration, and also a DPA in business administration. Well, we have quite a lot of them, including project management, and you will cater for the nurses, the lawyers, the engineers. We also talk about the teachers. We have courses in Master of Education, bachelor's of education, and just to say, finance courses, accounting, marketing courses, data science, all of them.
Okay. Yes. So what would be the difference? Here is a student who has an option of getting a degree in local universities, and also there's this option of UNICAF. What would be the advantage for this candidate, especially for majorly people in the healthcare field like nurses? What would be the advantage vis-a-vis going to a local university or other international universities? I know there's a scholarship, but what is the... I know you understand what I'm asking.
Yeah. I'm sure Kenyans would prefer a physical university. As I always say that we are in transition. Times are changing. We are actually 200 years behind in terms of technology. Education,
unfortunately so.
Yeah, education used to be, brick and mortar. But I can ask you, if all the students who take or who do their KCSE exams were supposed to go to university, then we don't have university facilities here in Kenya. And that's where we have opportunities for online coming in, because you see, we reduce the cost of education by almost a half of it because of the associated cost when it comes to partaking in education physically. Just coming down to narrow down to your question is that the difference between taking courses with UNICAF or the affiliated universities with UNICAF is one. The difference is that the degree or the certificate you get with UNICAF program is basically internationally recognized and accredited by the international bodies, and that makes it the difference. Because of course, even here locally in Kenya, we are accredited by Commission of Universal Education. That means the degrees that you take here, they are basically recognizable within Kenya and beyond. Two, the fact is that you are doing these courses online, but the certificate and the degree does not indicate that you have done it online. For example, if you choose to work to study with the University of East London, it is the University of East London that will give you the certification. And University of East London, Liverpool, John Moores, Suffolk University are one of the top universities we have in the world. Comparatively with our universities here, you find that those universities rate higher compared to the ranking compared to our universities. And if you go to international websites about recognition of university degrees, you find that UNICAF is one of the universities that meets the International Association of Universities fulfillment or charter to be able to give these scholarships, and also the degree programs that are recognized beyond Kenya and globally. Finally, if you're doing nursing, for example, and you take a top-up bachelor's in nursing, first qualification is you must be a practicing nurse, and that guarantees you to be able to just like credit removal. We can actually remove certain courses, especially practical courses. And the moment you do that top-up bachelor's nursing degree, that allows you to work either in Europe or any other country you want to work abroad, because then that makes you certified to have access to education that is recognized globally in Europe, in Africa, and even North and South America. So that's the difference between the local university degrees here and the ones that are offered in the UK, particularly in Suffolk, Liverpool, and also East London, and plus University of UNICAF. So it ranks above the local universities too. The certification is globally recognized. Yes.
So do they require an English language proficiency exam like the IELTS for them to be? Because we understand that for most universities in the UK and other countries, they require you to have an English proficiency. So you can tell us about that, and also what are the requirements for you to be able to join either you can start with the nurses, because that is majorly where we are targeting with the memorandum we've signed today.
Well, the proficiency, language proficiency, is one of the most common requirements for most of the universities abroad. However, you realize that, for instance, Kenya is an Anglophone country.
Yes.
That means that English here is basically like a native language. Of course, it's our official language, and therefore, most of the Kenyans, get that benefit of language aspect, because the main language of instruction, of course, is English.
Yeah.
But for those who want to pursue their courses in other language like French, we still have that specific aspect for French. But when it comes to proficiency of language, there is a department within UNICAF that is going to advise our students or the applicants on the way forward. And most of the time, you find that as Kenyans, we are excluded mostly from that particular aspect.
That requirement.
So long as you can prove that where you've been working and the medium of instruction and the language you've been speaking is English, that one is enough to guide you, be guided, and you don't have a problem with the proficiency in terms of English. And then, of course, for bachelors, those who are already practicing nurses, as I said, for you if you have a diploma in nursing and you want to do a degree in nursing, you will be allowed to do a top-up, an international nursing top-up bachelor's degree, which, as I said, will take you between 1 year, max of 2 years. And of course, what the main requirement is that you should be a practicing nurse, or you have a license that allows you to practice as a nurse. Basically, that is the major requirement for you to undertake a course that is, already, especially nursing course. If you're not a registered nurse, but you have already undertaken your nursing as a course, that one will be able to guide you accordingly as you make your application. And that will be considered by case-to-case basis. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. Unless you have something else you want to add?
Well, I will just say thank you for this opportunity for us to engage. I know there is a lot we can speak about, but we are free for those Kenyans who want to join us and maybe wish that they will need to be guided. Then we are always available for them all the time. Yeah, thank you
very much also for the opportunity for us to work together. I'm also thankful. I'll be sharing the link to those people who want to sign up and get an education, as Joshua just told you, so that you benefit from a universal or international education right here in Kenya at an affordable rate, and from a very reputable company and reputable universities across the world. So thank you very much, Joshua. We can always meet again and discuss these things in great detail. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and be blessed.
Thank you.